Hey guys, what's going on? Dr. Frank here, founder of Addiction Mindset Recovery Coaching Programs. And in today's brief video, I want to talk to you guys about 3 ways that you can go about quitting vaping or quitting smoking. Keep in mind, here at Addiction Mindset Recovery Coaching, we help people quit nicotine, THC, energy drinks, pornography, and a whole host of other addictions. So be sure to subscribe if you find this content valuable. So really it comes down to you have 3 choices when you're trying to quit vaping or when you're trying to quit using a nicotine product. Option number 1, which is my favorite option, is cold turkey. What I mean by cold turkey is you just stop. This doesn't mean you wean off slowly. This doesn't mean you use other nicotine products. You simply wake up one day, quit using it, and then have the intention and the goal to never consume nicotine again, to never vape again. That would be the cold turkey method. Now, there are some benefits to going cold turkey. Benefit number 1 would be the mindset that it creates. Why would you want to prolong something that you no longer want to be doing anymore? There's no worse feeling in the world. There's nothing more exhausting than continuing to do something that you don't want to do anymore. That's in fact what makes addiction such an exhausting, draining experience for people. Think about it when someone tells you what to do, when someone tells you how to do something. You don't want to do it. So why do you continue to put yourself through this addiction? Cold turkey, in my opinion, is the best method also because when you go cold turkey, you no longer view that addiction as a reward. It helps you set up the mindset that you're not actually giving anything up. When you're quitting vaping, there's often this fear that, oh, I'm giving something up. I'm giving up the buzz. I'm giving it something up. And the reality is you're not. Those are all lies that the addictive voice in your brain is telling you. And I've made more detailed videos on the lies that addiction tells us. So those are the 2 benefits of going cold turkey. Option number 2 would be lowering your nicotine concentration to lower and lower amounts each day or each week, each month, however you want to go about it, until eventually you reach a 0% nicotine concentration solution, and then eventually you just quit altogether after that. Now, the other option would be using the same amount of nicotine and then simply limiting your use. So you only vape on weekends, you only vape on Monday nights, or you only vape, during the evenings, but you don't vape anymore when you're at school or when you're in your car. So you could limit the times and the places that you use nicotine. That would be another way of weaning off slowly. You could combine that option number 3, with option number 2, weaning off slowly, while at the same time reducing the strength of nicotine that you're using. Now, I have one major problem with options number 2 and options number 3. If you're telling yourself, okay, I'm only going to vape on the weekends or I'm only going to vape at night, chances are you're going to start to view nicotine even more so than you already do as a reward. And the reality is there's no reason you should be viewing this pesticide as a reward. Things that should reward you in life are things that should be moving the needle forward in your life. So landing that new job, landing that higher test grade, landing that new relationship, whatever it is, building your own business, working on your hobbies until they become a full-time income. There's different ways, exercising and getting a natural release of dopamine. There's different ways to reward yourself in life. And we've been trained to view alcohol, nicotine, and other drugs as rewards for our hard work. And if you listen to people who have done really well for themselves in many categories of doing well for yourself in life, many of them have that same advice. Their reward is often more work because they're doing what they love, or more time with their family, more time with their kids, more time with a loved one, more time being part of their faith community. Their rewards tend to not be driven by substances. And it's not your fault that you think to view this as a reward. Remember, it was designed that way. Have a drink after work. have a drink on the weekends, have a cigar after work. That's your reward. You should never view this poison as a reward. It's nothing more than poison, and that's the problem with trying to wean off slowly like you're doing in options 2 and options 3. Why prolong the suffering? You're trying to quit, right? Why drag out the pain? Now, another problem that you have with that comes down to the physiology of how nicotine receptors in the brain work. The more you continue to consume nicotine, the longer those nicotine receptors in your brain are going to remain in abundance. Your brain naturally contains nicotine receptors. After about 12 days of going cold turkey, they start to die off. At 3 months, you're looking at pretty healthy levels. And then certainly at the 1 year mark, your brain is now getting out of this addiction. It's now rewiring itself to a healthy, normal place. The longer you continue to use nicotine products, like weaning yourself off slowly or only using on the weekends, the longer you're keeping those nicotine receptors alive. So in my opinion, you're better off going cold turkey and just starving those nicotine receptors. The reality is, at one point or another, you're going to have to face the cravings. You're going to have to face the withdrawal symptoms. There's no way around that. I understand going slowly might lessen the withdrawals, but to what extent? Nicotine withdrawal cannot kill you. Nicotine withdrawal is more mental than it is physical. And a lot of that mental comes down to the idea that you think you're giving something up, and you're not giving up anything. Someone who makes a really great point of this, I put a book, link in the bio description below, to Alan Carr, The Easy Way to Stop Smoking. Just take the word smoking and replace it for vaping. You're not giving anything up. That's what's important to realize. Thing number 4, this is a bonus tip. Quitting with nicotine replacement therapy products. So I'm going to stop vaping by using nicotine gum, Nicorette patches, whatever it may be. This is another lie that you're being sold by the nicotine business, the business of addiction. You don't need nicotine to quit nicotine. This is kind of the foundational lie that vaping was built on. You're going to quit smoking by vaping. Excellent form of harm reduction. I don't disagree with that. If you used to smoke 10 packs of cigarettes a day and now you vape, Godspeed to you. Good for you. And you're happy with that, keep doing it. But if you've never smoked and you've just now introduced this poison into your body for no reason, okay, you're in a different situation. Vaping, the idea was you're going to buy a vape, you're going to lower your nicotine concentration down to 0, and then you're going to eventually quit. It turned out to be not true. A lot of vape users are polynicotine users, just like I was. They chew tobacco, they smoke cigarettes, and they vape. They vape when they can't smoke cigarettes, they vape when they can't chew tobacco, or they're doing a combination of 1 or 2 or 3 of those things. So the idea that vaping is going to get you off of cigarettes forever, I don't know. It has worked for a lot of people. Let me be clear. It has worked for a lot of people to get them off of cigarettes. But if you've never smoked and you've never used other sources of nicotine, now you're just introducing nicotine into your system and you're going to seek it out one way or another. It's the same lie that you're being sold with ZYN pouches and nicotine pouches. The idea that you're going to use those to quit vaping, yes, to some extent that's true. And yes, that probably is another form of harm reduction, even less harmful than vaping, but you're still addicted to the substance nicotine. And this video is about you quitting nicotine. That's what this is about. Nicotine is the drug. Nicotine is the poison. Nicotine is what entraps you in the addiction. And that's what you're trying to break away from. Addiction is the problem here. And nicotine is predominantly to blame for that. At the end of the day, quitting is as simple as you quit. You don't use the product anymore. Period. No matter what. That's what quitting is. There's no special way to do that. How you choose to stop and what works best for you might work different from someone else. But I gave you my opinion. I do think cold turkey is the best way. And an extra bonus tip, if you've tried weaning off slowly before, limiting your use before, don't make that same mistake again. Maybe try cold turkey. Or if you've done cold turkey and that failed you, then maybe try going off slowly. don't repeat the same mistakes over and over and over again, because then you start to feel a little bit defeated, and no one wants to feel defeated. Chances are you already do if you're struggling with an addiction. We're trying to build up your confidence and make you feel better. So I hope those tips help. Give them a shot. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What worked for you? What didn't work for you? What do you need help with? What problems are you running into? Follow me into the next video where I talk about the lies that they've told us about nicotine. I'll see you guys there.